traditional goal setting hasn't worked for you, how about trying a tiny experiment? So recently I've been reading this book here called Tiny Experiments by Anne Leconf. She's a neuroscientist, and the idea here is that rather than having these linear step-by-step goals that sometimes can be quite scary, they might create a bit of anxiety because you're not sure if you're on the right track, are you doing the right thing, what's the next step, I don't know. These can be a little bit challenging sometimes. So the idea of running these tiny experiments I thought was quite interesting. And the way it works is you're going to start off with a pact, a PACT, and essentially this is, I'm going to do X for a X amount of time. So let's say we're wanting to do some walking to get a little bit fitter. So your pact might be, I'm going to do a 20-minute walk for 14 days. And then you'd run your tiny experiment. At the end of that 14 days, you'll then reflect on the data that you've gathered from your experiment. And then you can do one of three things. We can persevere, we can pivot, or we can pause. So persevere is saying, yep, that worked really well. I'm going to run another tiny experiment. You might want to pivot. You can say, well, that worked really well, but I want to change a couple of things. I might make it a little bit longer. I might say, well, I was walking after work, but I think going for a walk before work might be better for me. Or you could pause it and say, well, that just didn't work for me at this time, so I'm going to try something else to get my exercise in. And then you can start your next experiment. And I really like the idea of this because it's a lot less scary. You can set your parameters as you learn, you can grow and adapt. And in the book, she talks about these growth loops. So each time you run an experiment, you're growing and you're changing. So I really like this idea. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of running some tiny experiments? And what tiny experiment do you think you could run in the next few weeks?